wait a few moments to let some people get in. I'm by myself at the moment. They should be joining in just a little bit.
What? Oh, scorch piece. I'm sure it's friendly.
Alrighty, let's see. Sorry if I sound like shit right now. I literally just woke up like 30 minutes ago. More like 20 minutes ago. I am really tired. I've messed up my sleep schedule. Oh. Dub chocolate. Not what I should be eating in the morning, but I am, so. Shadow's probably gonna end up making some noise because he's playing Fallout with some friends and stuff, but I asked him not to be too loud, so it shouldn't be a problem. Dev stream or like Dev sleep. I wish. I've hacked my sleep schedule up pretty badly, so. How's it going, Jeremy? I don't know when Reese is going to come in. He said he'd be here in a few minutes. Or actually, he said he'll be here soon, to be more specific, so. He's probably eating fat, I guess, so I might end up just starting without him and he'll join when he rejoins. It's probably not going to be super long today. I've not had a whole lot of time to work on the project because I've only been back for about a week or so from my trip. So I've personally not done a whole lot of work. Although I'm pretty sure all I'm going to be showing today is work that I've done, unless Reese has done something. So
I don't recall what
that streamer like, can this dude hurry up? I usually give about 5 minutes or so to let everyone get in, and we've only been live for like 3 minutes. So once the 5-minute mark hits, I'll go ahead and start.
You have to kill the enemies in the area, and then you gotta pay caps at the workshop thing to claim it.
Alright, let's see. I guess Reese is probably still eating. Alright, yeah, I guess we can probably go ahead and get started. Drink the soda that's probably in your window. You always have one. Actually, I don't this time. This time, I have tea. And it's disgusting because I left it out all night. I need to get fresh tea.
You lose runs like that.
And water. I've got water.
You have to pay to claim it. But you also lose the advantage of having one.
I don't. I try not to drink soda whenever I first get up.
Don't do it
because
so I don't know how bad it is.
I'm trying to drink less soda and more water and stuff.
In theory, people could come by and try to claim it.
Alright, let's see here. I guess we can show off the thing that I know the least about at the moment. put a lemon in it. Yeah.
The only special
We
thing
don't
about
have
that one
lemons,
is
and I hate
you
lemons, so
can
no thank
start
you.
up the food processing plant, but it takes resources.
The hell, what's he
in order
have down
to,
here?
like, build power and
Nothing.
everything.
That's what he's got down here. Oh, excuse me. Like I said earlier, it's not going to be a super
Yeah, I mean, you might be fine.
long dev stream or anything like
If
that
you want to play it,
because
you can.
I've not had the chance to
I
do a
like
whole
playing
lot
it
of
though if
work
I
in it,
actually
and whenever
know
I
the
have had the
hours
chance, I've
beforehand.
not felt a lot of inspiration to do anything. And Emmanuel's only done like one
Like,
thing,
I'm working on claiming one right now. That's
and I'll
what
probably show it off because it won't take too long, and I don't know too many of the details in it. So I guess we can go ahead and do that real quick. Finally, welcome back. I do not want to be Sonic. I want to be
I'll put the turn on.
Knuckles. Alright, so I'm assuming last time they showed off Knuckles being able to like punch and shit. I can punch them. Are you there now?
No, this is your imagination.
I literally just got started. I've been waiting for you, but now you're here.
Oh. Sabotage.
Alright, anyway, as I was saying. I'm assuming that you guys showed him off like Knuckles' punching combo and stuff last week. Bob.
The last stream. Yeah. I mean, it probably has been redone since.
Knuckles can punch and run while punching.
Yes.
And you've probably shown off these shield barrier hitboxes that bounce the player back and around.
Yes.
How's it going, CJ? And Sonic 1789. So the thing we're going to be showing off is the fact that Knuckles can now guard. Whenever he crouches, instead of doing a regular crouch, he'll do a guard. So if you've played Sonic 3, you'll know that you can't, or Sonic 3 Knuckles, whenever you fight Knuckles, you can't spin dash into him because he'll duck and guard like so.
I will be right back. I need to restart my computer.
Alright.
Something's fishy. 1 second, sorry.
Emmanuel just put this in like a day or so ago, so it's probably super buggy. I've not had the chance to really take a look at it. But and it's technically just a full-on guard. It can like okay. It can guard projectiles and such. How's it going, Tiger? Did I already say that? I don't remember.
And if it turns close, if it turns all the way, you've unlocked it.
But that's what Knuckles can do. I believe it's the same hitbox as these here.
The closer you get to it, the more it gets turn.
The ones that just deflect attacks. I think it's considered a shield hitbox. This guy's not properly set up, so even if he attacks me, it won't hurt me. Oh, well, I got hit by his main hitbox. His lance hitbox doesn't work. I was looking at it last night. I feel like Knuckles with the guard would be too OP. It'll more than likely be toned back. Like, you'll only be able to take so many hits before Knuckles' guard breaks, obviously. So, you can't just sit here and hold guard forever. Currently you can, but you won't be able to, like, whenever we get around to balancing him more. And we've still not figured out if we're going to be able to block projectiles, because maybe blocking projectiles would be too strong. Bop. It's currently bugged, where if I get hit by something, I can't uncrouch until I hit the button again, so that's currently a bug. So that's all Emmanuel has done, and it's clearly very unfinished still. He's been very busy with schoolwork recently, so he's not been able to do as much. Gliding and guarding Kingdom Hearts now. Nope. can't glide, or you can't guard while gliding, and vice versa. Not sure why you would want to though, because if I remember right. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I guess the hitbox has been removed and altered. You used to be able to hit enemies with the glide, but not anymore. How's it going, Bobby the Ant? Woo. Yeah, you used to be able to hit enemies with the glide, but you can't anymore. So that must be bugged at the moment, or being reworked. So there's not much to show off with Knuckles at the moment other than that, because they already showed off the punch combo last week. Or not last week, last time. I wasn't here 2 weeks ago, so I don't know what all they did and didn't show off. Let's hop levels. Save selected. Don't save. I'm going to swap back to Sonic. How about make Knuckles a power-up to block projectiles like metal gloves or something? Also, you sound tired, you good? I've been awake for like 20 minutes. Actually, 30 minutes now. I woke up and I'm like, alright, gotta do the dev stream. Because I can't do it too late because Shadow has plans in about 3 hours. And I usually do it an hour earlier than what I normally do, so. Reese is back. I just finished showing off Knuckles because I don't know what else to show off with Knuckles.
Nice.
We're probably not going to tie stuff to power-ups and such because that's not really what our job will be. If someone wants to tie things like guarding and such to power-ups, that'll be whoever's making their fan games job. They're going to have to put in the work to do that. We're probably not going to end up doing anything like that. Alright, so
You've shown off the wisps.
I'm doing that right now. Alright, so if you keep track of the Twitter, or if you're in the Discord, you probably already know this, but a couple more of the wisps have been worked on. All but 2 of the Lost World wisps also have models now, like models and meshes. So Crimson Eagle now has a model. It also works a lot better. The way Crimson Eagle works, I don't believe I've had a chance to show it off because I don't know if you guys showed it off last time.
Nope. We didn't really show off the wisps, I believe. I'm not sure.
Can you put on Shamar Nights, please? I usually don't play music during the dev streams because I want people to be able to hear what we're doing and stuff. So Crimson Eagle is going to be different than most of the other wisps. It's going to be guided by the camera. So if you want to move in a direction, you'll have to move the camera in that direction. And if you want to move upwards or downwards, you can press crouch to tilt the wisp downward, and you'll begin to move downward. And you can press upwards to, or you can press the jump button to tilt upwards. Pressing the quick step buttons will cause you to do a little sideways dash. There's no animations for it, obviously. And pressing shift will cause you to speed up, but it will also cause you to drain more wisp energy. So Crimson Eagle will probably be the most versatile of the flying type of wisps, such as, like, you know, burst, hover, and I think like maybe rhythm. So out of all the flying wisps, Crimson Eagle will probably be the most easiest to use because of its simplistic nature, but it's also not going to have a whole lot of combat capabilities. Like burst has quite a few combat capabilities, and hover's quite dynamic in its own way. So Asteroid has a mesh now. There's not really a whole lot to show off with Asteroid because we've shown off Asteroid before, I believe. This debug sphere around it represents its little asteroid loop of particles that usually surround it. So it shrinks down whenever you charge up a jump, and then expands whenever you finally jump. You can also press the jump button while in midair to hover. Like so. One tech thing that I discovered. I don't know if I want to get rid of this or not. I thought I would bring it up to you guys to see if you want to get rid of this tech. Because I don't see it as super broken, but it's technically an unintended feature. If you fall off of something as asteroid without having pressed the jump button first, you can actually charge up a jump and jump in midair, like so. So it might be a little bit broken. I'm not sure yet. If you guys want us to get rid of it, we can. I kind of like it. It's kind of like just a neat little hidden tech.
I think it's fine.
So I don't think this should be called asteroid. More like a purple version of Saturn, a gas giant. Yeah, that's what it is. Although I think the name asteroid is supposed to reference the Saturn's rings, which are primarily made of ice chunks and asteroids and probably crushed up moons. So purple drank Uranus.
Purple.
All right, so on to the newest of the wisps. I'm gonna turn the music back up a little bit. I did not want to do that.
Oof, you went too far.
I did. I went too far back to Baby Sonic. That's why you don't mess with time travel.
Too far back.
I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit. There we go. Alright, so the two new wisps that have had the most work on them done recently are Black Bomb and Great Quake. So let's start out with Black Bomb. If you played Lost World, you might have tried Black Bomb before, or you might not have, because I don't think Black Bomb actually naturally spawns anywhere in any of the levels. The only way to use Black Bomb is in the, with like the additional item things.
It was the me-verse thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like get it from another player.
But Black Bomb kind of works similarly to other purple or dark-colored wisps, where destroying things will cause you to grow. In which case, you can blow up. It's a little bit more extreme in Infinity Plus than it is in Lost World, because Black Bomb was, to me at least, very underwhelming in Lost World. The explosion size and radius were very skimpy in comparison to the size that you managed to get, and there wasn't really a whole lot of locations for you to, you know, actually grow larger in Lost World. It was not, there were not very many locations where you could just farm enemies in order to grow. So it's a little bit easier to grow in here, and you do grow at a little bit of a faster rate. And the explosion is actually much bigger than Bomb. In Lost World, the explosion was basically the exact same size as Black Bomb. Here, it's much larger. There's no visual representation for the bomb, but the damage radius and the radial knockback force is actually quite a bit larger. This giving me some Vietnam flashbacks to the 3DS version of Lost World. I never played the 3DS version, so... He is a big bomb. He's a very big bomb.
I am pretty sure the bigger you get, the bigger the explosion.
In Lost World?
No, like, that's what somebody said in the comments.
Oh. Yeah.
Or in the chat, I should say.
Bop. And of course, the larger you get, the harder it is to move around, just because your mass increases, so... Which, I don't remember if that was the case in Lost World. That might have been.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But that's the case how it is now. You can move around and zip around relatively quickly whenever you're small. Fine. You can also hop. Super spin. Spin! Stop.
Spin.
But the larger you get, the harder it gets to roll around because your mass increases. Bop, bop. So how big you decide to get in order to utilize the explosion is up to you if you feel like you can get big enough and still move quick enough to where you want to go before you detonate.
Hello, there you guys are.
Black Bomb is... Oh, excuse me. Black Bomb is one of the only wisps where if you deactivate it early, you actually lose the wisp. That's just because Black Bomb can be very destructive if you use it correctly. So, you could find an area with a lot of enemies or a lot of destructibles, and
Hey,
the larger you get, the harder it is to move. Well, am I wrong? I am technically not wrong when you think about it. But Black Bomb, like I say, is probably one of the more powerful wisps if you know how to abuse it. But, so if you try to cancel out a Black Bomb early, you'll actually completely lose the wisp. Unlike other wisps where if you cancel it early, you should be able to, like, reactivate it later on.
It starts at 8, so I don't know how long we'll be playing for. But we're still playing when we get back.
The explosion radius isn't completely finished because it should probably be able to destroy destructibles such as these here and things, so. But we gotta set up a destructible interface anyway for some of the wisps like Gray Quake, Black Bomb, Asteroid, Frenzy, wisps like that. So we gotta set up a destructible interface for that stuff anyway, so.
I make them buy the stacks.
Bareback, alrighty. And the next wisp we're gonna look at is Gray Quake. This wisp was only featured in
Don't worry about it.
3DS Lost World, and it was in wasn't it in?
It was in TSR,
Yeah, it was in TSR.
but it was completely different. It like made pillars of stone everywhere.
Yeah.
I use plasma rounds. Find buckets, so.
So similarly to Black Bomb, Gray Quake just controls like a ball does. It's a little bit harder to move because it's supposed to be a giant ball of like steel. So your mass and your speed doesn't really ever change. So Gray Quake is going to be able to like easily knock over any destructibles, as well as like, or like knock over any physics objects, as well as destroy destructibles. If you press the shift button, you'll notice that Gray Quake kind of just lines up with the camera. But in actuality, what's happening is I'm charging a spin dash, and whenever you let go, you kind of just pshoo.
What was your question, Crazy? Sorry.
Just completely barrel into things.
You can also do your stomp.
Yep. By pressing the crouch button in midair, you can do a stomp, which will knock around and destroy nearby objects, any destructibles, as well as destroy enemies. Gray Quake is going to be pretty powerful in terms of the combat as well, just due to its beefy nature. It'll probably be a bit slow and difficult to wield, but it can deal a lot of damage to enemies. Flashbacks intensify. Wow. Came like a wrecking ball. Literally, that's what Gray Quake is. It's just a giant wrecking ball. If you charge up and do a spin dash, you will get a bit of an energy penalty, because charging up a spin dash is probably the fastest way to move with Gray Quake. So you don't want to be able to spam it, or else Gray Quake will just become OP. So you will get like a minor energy penalty. Stopping from a spin dash is not very easy.
It is not.
Okay. So those are the two newest wisps being worked on at the moment. Black Bomb and Gray Quake.
Got Rhythm to show off. You haven't shown Rhythm.
Rhythm has visuals, nothing else.
It's perfect. It's perfectly fine.
All Rhythm has is just a mesh, its music, its textures, so.
It's perfect. I mean, that's all Rhythm was, right?
Yep. all the meshes and textures and assets, including the sound effects and such, were given to us by Fazlox, who is a QA tester.
Oh,
He ripped all these assets straight out of Lost World. Not these Wisp Castle assets; those came from TSR and
no,
and Lost World. Some of them came from Lost World.
Wisp capsule. Oh, you mean the actual wisps on the inside? I thought you were on the capsule itself. I was like, no, it wasn't the capsule.
No, the Wisp Capsule did not know.
But yeah. Pretty sure the wisp capsule is from Forces.
Yeah. Oh, actually, a majority of the Wisp models came from Forces, didn't they?
No, just 2.
Oh, just 2 of them? Which ones?
I'm saying the capsule.
Yeah, I
came
know.
from
I'm
Forces.
talking about the model
And
inside of the
the
capsule.
models is Hover and Asteroid.
Oh, those came from
That's-
Forces?
Yeah, that's why they are weird and they keep glitching.
Oh, alright.
They call me the glitch. You wanna know why they call me the glitch? Because I glitch your TVs. I'm glitching it.
Ivory Lightning, I've begun work on it. It's giving me a little bit of a problem because, one, I don't know a whole lot about it because I never played the 3DS version of Lost World. All I know is it has a light speed attack type ability and that it can do a form of homing attack as well as some type of pull swing thing. I'm trying to get the homing attack functioning, but it doesn't want to work. But currently, Lightning can do a light speed dash, and that's about it. It does kind of book it. Meow.
Goes face.
It does kind of go fast. I don't know a whole lot about Lightning other than that. I know Lightning can interact with like chargeable plugs and stuff and interact with the train in that way, and that's something we're gonna try and do for every Wisp. Like, we're gonna try and create interactables for every Wisp to utilize in the world. So, I know we had an idea for like, oh, excuse me, Blue Cube having like a switch that only it can activate or something. Like you have to stomp on it with Blue Cube to activate like a heavy switch or some of the like, you know. I think we had one for like burst where exploding nearby will light something on fire and like ignite it. I'm not sure. But whenever we get around to doing that, Ivory Lightning will also be able to interact with things because we are planning on having a lot of interactables for the Wisps.
Oh, they need a wisp object each.
Yep. Because Cyan Laser has its prisms, and it's also going to have the little laser trail. Rocket's going to have that thing that it had in Generations, where you can break it, like break through certain
A rocket
tiles.
roof.
Yeah, rocket roof. Blue Cube obviously has its blue rings. Yeah, the blue rings are already interactable, but they're very basic. They're not very fun. They kind of just swap states, and that's about it. The only ones that probably aren't going to have a whole lot of interactables, other than like just a general interactable, are the destructible wisps, such as, you know, Frenzy, Void, Bomb, and Asteroid, the destructible ones. Because
Void is meant to have fans.
yeah, Void's meant to have fans that will blow it around. Let's see here. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying how this framework might be too bloated. Is bloated your goal? Yeah, it depends on what you mean by bloated.
Red Burst has flame. It's got like flame ball things it can bounce off of, I believe, and also updraft that it can get caught on. Asteroid has the little like teleport void thing.
Oh, it does, yeah. Asteroid has like little gates it can interact with and teleport.
I think the better thing for that could be, instead of it sending you to like a little sub level, is it's literally a teleport. It like sends you somewhere else in the level. So I think that could be a neat little thing. Like if you've used asteroid, you've gathered up enough particles, or like you've destroyed enough things to grow a bit bigger. You can get up to a teleport area, and you can teleport like halfway across the map or something. So like a big time saver.
Or you can go craft your
Yeah.
own if you want.
Like having too many actions to fit in an Xbox controller.
This is a combat.
Yeah, that's a combat. But to be completely honest, that's the nature of a framework.
Yeah,
Everything we make is not meant to fit on one controller. You're supposed to pick and choose what you want in it. We're not making a fan game. If we were making a fan game, then yeah, I would consider this very bloated. But all of these tools and all of these things are optional. Like, you can use them if you so desire in your fan game.
We're gonna get around making them optional.
Yeah.
We still need like a huge general switch for the combat, to be honest.
Yes, we do. I need to talk to Emmanuel about that. But, I know I've had to explain this to multiple people. All of this stuff is not meant to be done all together. I mean, you can, and we're going to try and implement functionality for that sake if you do want, like, everything in one fan game. It would be really hectic and probably a huge mess, but the idea is that you can pick and choose the different assets and finished works inside of the project to use for your own fan game. Like, that's kind of the point of it. Not necessarily to use absolutely everything.
You don't want to have it take up space.
There was a system
There you go.
suggested to us by picks that would allow for like mapping all of the abilities to one controller via like a switch system, which I do like. I do think it's pretty cool. Boing.
Style switch.
Yeah, like a style switch. Boing. Might have to increase asteroids durability a little bit.
Durability?
Stamina, you know what I mean?
Energy.
Yeah, it's energy consumption, it's stamina.
You are tired, aren't you?
I am very tired. So, to be honest, that's the only two things we really have to show off. I showed off Knuckles, and I showed off what we did with the Wisps. There's not really a whole lot to show off, because I've only had like a week to work on it, rather than the general 2 weeks in between streams. And the only thing Emmanuel did was that guarding thing, and he did that like 2 nights ago. So, not really a whole lot has been done with the project in the past 2 weeks.
No, not really.
I was expecting Black Bomb and Grey Quake to take way longer than what they did, because I thought setting up rolling physics and marble physics, as well as like the control scheme, would be very, very difficult. Turns out it really wasn't. It took me about a day to learn like the ins and outs of how to do it, and after that it was mainly just setting up all the like interactions with the destructibles and things like that. So both Black Bomb and Grey Quake took me about 1 day each to set up, and then like an extra day or so to like fine tune and all that stuff. So Black Bomb, of the two, Black Bomb feels really, really fun to play. Obviously Grey Quake feels a lot slower. It's meant to feel a lot slower. But Grey Quake or Black Bomb feels really fun to play if you enjoy like marble type physics or games. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of imperfections. Like every once in a while, you'll see me hop around. I'm not actually pressing the jump button. That's just Unreal's physics system, like messing around. Because like if I randomly hop out of nowhere, it's more than likely Unreal's physics system just messing up somewhere. Because especially when you reach certain speeds, like once you move fast enough. Whew, look at him spin.
Flatwood.
Now that rolling fizz instead of big the cat with rolling boulder mechanics win.
Just
I
put
considered
big
it. Boing.
This is big spin dash.
Boing. That was a tiny little lip in the geometry. A tiny little lip in the geometry sitting me flying. Boing. So.
Yep.
There's going to be downsides to this system, but that's not something that we can necessarily fix all that well or easily, just because it's just how Unreal has them set up. I could show up how they interact with enemies and such. Boing. Finally, you understand the true power of how big should play.
Oh yeah.
So Black Bomb. Okay, that little hop I did a second ago, that was not me. That was just Unreal's physics. Black Bomb and Gray Quake will both have the ability to just barrel over enemies. Like so.
Sound effect doesn't loop correctly.
Say what?
Black Bomb's loop sound effect for moving doesn't loop correctly.
It's not set up at all. I didn't set it up.
No, it's not set up. I'm listening to it right now because I was tempted to just add it in quickly, but it doesn't loop correctly.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I didn't add it in yet. I'm like, this doesn't loop correctly. We're gonna have to change this, so I'm not gonna add it in yet. So.
What about cruising?
Black Bomb can obviously boop, explode like such. I can't really show it off because I don't have a way of growing Black Bomb on command. But the bigger you get, the more damage the explosion will actually do. So that explosion I did earlier did 2 damage. That one did another tick of damage. But the bigger you get, the more damage it's going to do, obviously.
Hang on, I gotta reload.
How does Bomb do slopes and half pipes? I mean, it does it like you would with any other marble. Great Quake being a lot more powerful can just barrel through things right away. Great Quake actually has 4 ticks of touch damage, as well as I believe 3 or 4 ticks of stomp damage. Great Quake's gonna have fall off on its stomp radius though, but we haven't set the enemies up to take fall off into account yet, so. Bang. To answer your question, I don't remember if I answered it or not, but they interact with that stuff like any marble would. Like, they go up slopes and stuff, but it's hard depending on, like, your speed and your momentum and your mass and such. If I tried, like, these ramps here reach a 90-degree angle at some point, so, I can't actually go up them because I hit that 90-degree angle, and then that's kind of it. You don't have any control over them whenever they're in midair, so even though I hold forward right here, I'm not actually going to be moving forward any. I just add torque to the rotation.
What? Oh, there it is.
But obviously, just like any other marble, if I go neutral while on a slope, I just roll down. Same thing with Black Bomb. Black Bomb and Gray Quake have the same physics, obviously, because they're both marble type wisps.
all of the sound effects don't loop well for anything.
No. The Lost World Wisps don't loop very well.
I see. Interesting.
We need to, like, cut off the music so it can be looped. So, yeah, that's how they interact with the terrain, but they're, you know, marbles. That's how they're supposed to interact with the terrain. I've never tried it on a half pipe, though. We can try it on a half pipe real quick. You don't, unlike Sonic's rolling physics, you don't gain more speed downhill than you do uphill, or than you lose uphill, so, come on, give me a bomb. There we go.
That is a dangerous thing.
You won't sit here and infinitely gain height unless you purposefully, like, roll while in midair.
Possibly.
Like, add torque in midair.
Oh! That's about 2 pounds of 308 and a pound of 44s.
Meow. So, they interact how I pretty much expect that they would. They are based on camera controls, so you probably can't like roll up a half pipe like this by facing upward, because all you do is you add torque to the ball. Like, you just tell the ball to spin in a direction, and whenever it lands on the ground, it will do so. So being able to move around shuttle loops and tubes and stuff like that isn't really a thing that you'd be able to do more than likely with them.
Oh, what would I do? I need to play Lost World again so I know the sound effects for Indigo Asteroid. There's a dash, there's free jump sound effects, there's free loop sound effects.
Let's see here, Indigo Asteroid. Oh, I think a lot of the sound effects for Asteroid are duplicated. Because, let's see. Yeah, these two are the same. Well, there's a minor difference between them, according to the wave file, or the wave function. I don't know what that is supposed to be. As a jump. Those two sound nearly identical.
What can I say? I mean, a lot of ammo.
I don't know what these are for, to be honest.
That's why I need to listen. I need to play Lost World so I can understand what's what.
Yep.
Nice.
So, the sound effects for them aren't set up yet. The only one that has sound effects set up are Bomb, but that's just because he blow up, he explode.
It's not the correct sound effect though, isn't it?
What, the explosion?
Actually, the DLC
Yeah.
quest line,
No, I set it up. That's what I did yesterday, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
The
personally,
explosion
I
sound
find the
effect you
DLC
hear
quest
will
line
change
a lot
depending
more
on
fun than
his
the main
size.
quest line.
I see, I've just seen it. What about when you just press the button to untransform? Does it use a different sound or is it just the same?
No, it's the same, because it's the exact same code that runs.
Okay.
Bomb enemy resort? What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah,
That's a roll sound effect for whenever it moves. I don't know what jump charge is supposed to mean. Or jump. That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know.
A lot of these sound effects don't make sense, so
I think
we're gonna
that's
have to
like
try and
6
figure out what they do.
pounds of 308.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
Crimson
added
Eagle
the-
has any.
I added the Crimson
You can
Eagle's
check,
like
if you
somersault
go
sound
to
effect
Razer
just now.
regularly, go pay now.
I think this like
It'll actually tell you how much.
dash ability is meant to
Not
just
in there, you have to
constantly
do it
play,
regularly.
like as like a subtle, like, you know, ambient sound.
It's either that or fly loop.
Things are really heavy too.
One or the other.
They sound exactly the same.
The somersault I think it'd probably be
They tried
used
to perks to make it cheaper, like,
It's
whenever.
the dash side to side. I've put it there.
Yeah. So whenever like you like do a little side dash, like that sound effect would play.
Yes.
And there's bump. All of these just sound like wind.
Copper,
Like
that's the question.
I don't know what to do with these. They all just sound like wind.
No.
Grey Quake. The only two wisps that don't have any assets at the moment are Grey Quake and Ivory Lightning. But that's just because I don't think anyone has ever ripped assets from the 3DS version of Lost World before. So
They have, it's just not the ones we need.
okay. Well, if anyone knows how to rip 3DS Lost World, that would be helpful.
I do.
Let's
I'm
see
pretty
here.
light, though.
I don't really think there's all that much else. Oh, that's right. We have Magenta Rhythms assets too, so music. It's 3 sound effects, 2 bounce notes that like play whenever it bounces, and then whenever it grabs a musical note.
And open up Audacity.
Magenta Rhythm is probably going to be the one wisp that I hold off on for a little while, just because I'm probably going to end up completely reworking it from the ground up from how it used to function in Lost World, because in Lost World, it was dumb. Which is sad because I actually like the wisp Magenta Rhythm. I think it looks kind of cool, but it needs to be redone. I'm gonna completely rework it into something new because how it works now, because like it was originally designed to be played on a Wii U gamepad, which is fine, but we don't have that anymore. And how they decided to go about reworking it for the PC port of Lost World was dumb. It was like made the dumbness even more dumb.
Yep.
So I'm gonna probably hold off on Magenta Rhythm for a while once I get some of the things with Ivory Lightning finished up and closer to resembling what Ivory Lightning is supposed to look like. I'm going to probably just work on a couple other things before I move back to Magenta Rhythm, because I had an idea. Like I had an idea on how to work Magenta Rhythm, like rework Magenta Rhythm how it used to work into like a regular gamepad. Like you have to like press the jump button, because how it used to work is you kind of just press the jump button and you just moved around freely. I think what it was supposed to do, it was supposed to pull you towards the musical note chain that the level had pre-set up, but I don't think it ever really worked. You kind of just hopped wherever you tapped on the screen, or hopped in whatever direction you moved in. So I originally had the idea where you can set out a musical note chain, and if you press like the jump button in time with the rhythm, you'll automatically like home into each one. So it wouldn't be very flexible. Like if there wasn't any homing chain, if there wasn't any musical note chain nearby, you could potentially do something similar to Burst, where pressing the jump button in time with the rhythm gives you like extra height. Like you can just keep jumping in time with the rhythm to gain height. Similarly to how Red Burst does, where you charge up a burst explosion to gain height and things like that. But
I fixed the loop for Crimson Eagle now.
Nice. So we'll have to see with Magenta Rhythm. I don't really have much of anything else to show at the moment. I've not had the chance to do a whole lot of work on wisps and stuff, and whenever I had the chance, I've just not felt super inspired. The fact that I got Grey Quake and Black Bomb as far in like 3 days as I did was kind of miraculous to me, because I'm just like, that was much less painful than I thought it would be. So if anyone has any questions or concerns or comments, you're more than welcome to share them, because I don't really have much else to show at the moment. Other than the fact that the code for Tails has been slowly being reworked into the Flight Master. So all of Tails' flight code that exists inside of his blueprint. Where is his event graph? Like, he used to have a whole chunk of flight code right here, but not anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. It all exists inside of the flight parent.
Okay, bomb's sound effect has also been fixed now.
Oh, his rolling one.
Yes.
Nice. So
I just need to figure out how the hell we're going to code that, because it only needs to happen when you're moving.
Once again, the map.
It's going to be something similar to how Tails' tail sound effect is going to work.
yeah. I have an idea on how it could potentially work, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Even though all of this has been reworked into the flight parent, it doesn't completely work. Tails can fly and all that stuff. Like, his jump code works just fine, and like, he gets tired
Yeah,
after
the
a while.
stamina bar just kind of leaves.
Yep. Stamina bar isn't set up properly for some reason, but after you fly once and you land and reset. Oh, it does work this time. Maybe you have to run all the way out of stamina for it to properly reset. Let me try landing early before I run out of stamina. Yeah, if you land early before running out of stamina, you kind of just fly forever. Your stamina never drains, the sound effect doesn't properly play, so landing doesn't properly reset things. So Tails isn't entirely perfect at the moment, but the flight parent's coming along. This will be code that any flight character will be able to utilize, like this basic flight code. But if you play as a flight character like Silver, who, if you want like to have unique flight code, all you'd have to do is instead just overwrite it inside of the child, which I don't think Silver has been parented to the Flight Master yet, or the Flight Parent. Has he?
No.
So I couldn't even test that if I wanted to.
Nope, you could not.
But theoretically, if you wanted a flight character to fly differently than how it's set up by default, whether that be like the adventure flight or the classic flight, you just have to override it in the child. Although how you overwrite in the child is going to have to be different. So Silver might be broken right now just because we reworked how jump code works in the master. So I'll probably have to look at Silver too. That's the problem with restructuring things, is any dependencies instantly just break. I don't think
A lot of stuff to fix.
Yep. I don't think there's really anything to show off with the combat, is there, other than Knuckles' blocking?
Not that I would know of.
Bop.
If you open it in your inventory, and it's just one of the buttons. I don't use them. I believe Noble plans on using them.
That's still really fun to pull off. I really like that.
1, 9.
Yeah, enemies flash when they take damage. That's a thing.
Yeah, I did that.
One thing that Emmanuel actually reminded me that we could discuss before we call things is the rework of the homing wrecker. Currently, how the homing wrecker works is whenever you do it, you kind of launch forward, like so. If you kill the enemy with the homing wrecker, it launches you forward. But if you don't, it's supposed to drop you back and make you do a drop dash. I don't know if Emmanuel deactivated that ability, like it's the drop dash part, or if something's not functioning right. But that's what's supposed to happen currently. We're probably going to end up changing it. Someone offered the idea of like sledding on an enemy. Like if you kill the enemy with the homing wrecker, you'll like slide on it, like use it as a sled, like, you know, a speed character would, like, you know, how Sonic grabs onto a snowboard, or like everyone's favorite, the helicopter sighting, and he just sleds on it like he would do with the enemy. That's something someone suggested. That's something I would like to do, but what we are considering instead is to make the sledding on an enemy less niche and specified to the homing wrecker. What we're thinking of doing is adding an extra feature to speed characters that allow you to knock enemies prone, and by obviously knock prone we mean knock enemies down and on their back, and they are unable to get up for a set amount of time, and during which time, if you like home attack or jump on a prone enemy, you'll just latch onto them and ride them like a snowboard or something like that. What we consider doing is with the homing wrecker, maybe if you kill an enemy with the homing wrecker, rather than it blowing up immediately, you'll knock it prone, in which case you can jump on it. We also considered the idea of having the perch give you the ability to like knock an enemy prone. Like if I were to like press the boost button right here, I could like kick the enemy into another enemy and like maybe knock the enemy that I kicked prone, in which case I could home attack on it again and sled on it. So it's an idea that we're tossing around. I thought, and Emmanuel thought it'd be nice to like bring it up to everyone here, to see what everyone thought about that. Because sledding on an enemy is something that would be pretty cool. It could be pretty useful in terms of like dealing decent crowd control damage, because like if you sled into other enemies on top of an enemy, you could like deal damage to them and stuff like that. So that's something we would like to play around with, and it's very much, you know, in character for a speed character to do, like ride on top of another enemy. Personally, I like adding it to perch. I like in fuel. Just rolling onward off the homing wrecker feels like the most intuitive outcome. To an extent, it kind of is. It's overpowered right now. If we did end up keeping that function, we're gonna have to tone it back, because in closed areas, it's like nearly useless, because you bounce off the enemy and then you drop dash forward, and then you just hit a wall. Like the homing wrecker is very unintuitive to use in closed locations. Like here it's fine because I just bounce off and I roll around. But if I did it somewhere like up here, I bounce off and then I just hit a wall. I mean, I did hit the enemy behind it, but if there wasn't an enemy behind them, then I would just kind of knock into a wall. So if we did keep that functionality, we're going to be toning it back a lot, so it's not so, like, intensive. But we have yet to decide on whether or not we want to actually get rid of it or not. Which is why we're bringing it up here. Because some people hate it in its entirety. Some people don't like the fact that you just launch off the enemy as soon as, like, it's dead. Maybe they don't like it because it's too powerful. They don't. Most people who mentioned it to me don't specify. But if I had to guess, that's probably the reason why. Is it's too strong. Like you kill an enemy and then you just shoot off, and maybe it puts you in an unfavorable position, or it's just too intensive for the situation that you're in, so it's next to useless, you know. It is kind of intuitive in terms of a platforming sense, which is why I initially designed it this way, was because like you kill an enemy and you get a burst of speed off of them, so it still, like, you know, incorporates speed into the combat, but it might just be too powerful how it is. The way I thought of the homing wrecker was a way to leave combat using an enemy as a bit of a speed boost. It could be used that way. The whole purpose of the homing wrecker was to give the speed characters a high single target DPS move, because the highest single target DPS move that you can, the two highest DPS single target moves you can use are the charged homing attack, which deals, I believe, up to 3 ticks of damage. And there's also the homing record, or the homing kick and the homing launch. So that deals 3 ticks of damage as well. But they're also a lot slower. Like here, you have to charge with the homing charge. You have to charge it up to get the most amount of damage. And with the homing spike, or the tomahawk spike and the homing kick, you have to, 1, time it correctly. 2, you have to wait for the correct time to actually do the move, and you get launched upward. So it's not necessarily the most intuitive of the single target moves. There's also the homing chain, which is the slowest out of all 3 of them, where you have to sit here and charge up and wait for the move to launch, or aim how you want it to play out. So the whole point of the homing wrecker was to give a snappy, easy single target ability you can use, like so. That's the whole point of the homing wrecker, was to allow you to be able to deal massive amounts of damage to one singular target. Because I think you can hit up to 6 times, if I remember correctly. If I found a enemy with 6 health. Yeah, it can hit up to 6 times, so that was the idea of the homing wrecker. You can use it to get in and out of battle. That the mobility of the homing wrecker just allows for that option. It does force eject. If you hit an enemy that has more than 6 health, I know there's an enemy with more than 6 health somewhere. Oh wait, no, they're not in here. So let's, just for the sake of test, let's give this enemy like 8 health. If you kill an enemy, or if you hit an enemy with it and they don't die after all 6 hits, it's supposed to force you into a drop dash. Like, you hop backwards and drop dash into them. So let's see here. Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. So it doesn't currently drop dash you. I don't know if that's an interaction problem or if that's something a manual changed. But the idea is the drop dash will launch you forward into them again, giving you 1 extra hit, and still adding mobility to the interaction. So whether you kill the enemy or whether you don't kill the enemy, you still get some form of mobility out of it. It does force eject you, but it just force ejects you in the opposite direction with the drop dash instead of past the enemy. So you essentially get an extra hit. You could ideally deal 7 ticks of damage to a single target, but it's not working at the moment. I'm not entirely sure why. I'll have to talk to Emmanuel about that. So I don't think the drop dash is something we'll be getting rid of with the homing wrecker. Like, if you cancel it early, or if you fail to kill the enemy, you'll do a drop dash. I don't think that's something we'll get rid of, just because we don't want to punish you simply for canceling the drop dash or the homing wrecker, you know. It'd be kind of dumb if you were just punished for trying to do something that you want to do. So
Linear. Oh. How do you? There's a way I should be able to do this, isn't there?
So that's the idea. Maybe we will leave the knocking prone to the perch. Maybe we'll not even mess with the homing wrecker. We'll probably just nerf and tweak the numbers and stuff with it. That's why we're bringing it up here to see what other people think. We want to know if people are like, oh yeah, do that with the homing wrecker because we don't like how it is, or no, just tweak the homing wrecker and leave the prone system to the perch or something else, because the like there's no reason why we couldn't do both. Like knocking an enemy prone might be a side effect that some abilities can have, like the homing wrecker. Even if the homing wrecker doesn't kill an enemy and you still launch off of them, maybe you can still knock them prone. Like if you decide to go back and ride on the enemy, you can still do that. But we've yet to decide. I think we really do want to go with this prone system because it allows for more freedom and creativity of how you use your abilities. Like, for example, maybe if you do a tomahawk spike on an enemy and it doesn't die, maybe you knock it prone for a little bit. Or if you do a homing wrecker on an enemy and it doesn't die, maybe you knock them prone as well. Like you just hit them so hard they get dizzy and you knock them prone or something like that. Or if you do kill them, you just launch off of them. We will have to see with it. We do want to go with a prone system, and we will more than likely attach it to the perch. That way we can implement this slide functionality, or this snowboard functionality is what I'll probably end up calling it, like the snowboard functionality of riding on an enemy. I'd say the one drawback I saw with homing wrecker as that you can't easily combo from it, but I sort of chalked it up to being a drawback to how strong and precise it is. Yeah, that is the one thing about it. And whenever we nerf it, because I think regardless we're probably going to nerf the homing wrecker ever so slightly in one way or another. Depending on the nerf that we do end up giving it, it'll probably make it a little bit easier to combo into or out of. Because comboing into it isn't that big of a deal. As long as you can do a homing attack and you have the boost energy to do so, you can combo into it. Like if you do something else and then lead into a homing wrecker. Comboing out of it is the hard part because you get launched so fast out of it. So if we reel back that a little bit, it should be easier to combo like into a roll or a drop dash or utilize that in some way, you know. But the homing wrecker is not meant to be like an ability that you combo into and out of all that easily, just due to its single target DPS nature. Prone state sounds really cool, especially for flow of battle with bigger baddies. Yeah, I don't think that like bigger baddies, you probably won't be able to sled on big baddies, like large enemies. If you classify an enemy as a large enemy, you probably won't be able to sled on them. But I don't see why you shouldn't be able to knock them prone. That just seems like a thing you should be able to do. But because like sledding on a really large enemy, like an egg hammer, like being able to snowboard on them, that seems a little unreasonable to me. But I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to knock them prone. Like knock them on its ass, and then you can deal like extra damage or whatever, you know, to it.
Wow.
What?
What's your language?
No.
Language.
Language.
Everybody else is going to point out that the cap just said language.
Speaking of the egg hammer,
not much has been done with him.
Did you show off the egg hammer?
I'm pretty sure we did, yeah. We did many things.
We have an egg hammer. He a big boy. He doesn't follow me, though. He's supposed to follow me?
Yeah, he does. He's just got a weird detection right now. Punch him.
Pop. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with his AI. He's not detecting me at the moment.
So the manual must have changed something. But he does walk.
Oh, yeah, there. He walked for a second.
What does he do? And then you killed him.
Yep, I did.
Wow.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, you just need to punch him.
And then he stopped.
Yep.
Is there like a native modifier somewhere around here?
Nope. I just honestly think Emmanuel's changed something with
The
how the
detection.
detection works.
Here he comes. I can't get too far away from him, I don't think, is the problem. Like, if he starts following me and I get too far, he won't see me. Stop shooting me.
A new thing.
Okay. So, yep, that was the egg hammer. Wow. I don't really think we have anything else to show off, so if anyone has stuff they want to share, or, you know, whatever, you're more than welcome to do so now. Bop. Bop.
We'll be back later, guys. Yeah.
Alrighty.
800.
Taking a break.
I'm making some changes.
Nice. I'm not saving any of these changes, obviously.
I will make. I don't know where I was going to go with that.
Okay.
Oh, I just remembered I've got a box of chocolates that I want to eat in a minute.
Shadow bought some Dove chocolates. He gave me one, and I ate one like as soon as the stream started.
Dove chocolate.
Yeah.
Sounds fancy.
Do you guys not have Dove chocolate?
I don't think so. It sounds like it's familiar to me, but I don't think I've ever had any. If there is.
I was mentioning earlier that the hitboxes are broken at the moment, and this is what I meant.
That's perfect, man. That's just how it works in Sonic games, right?
Yep. That's how it's supposed to work. Wow. It is pretty decent, like, actually punching into an enemy, just because, like, it pulls out it pulls out so quickly that it doesn't, like, you know, you don't have to worry too much about, like, the timing of it, because you're able to do it so swiftly.
I like that. It's just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
Knuckles is tougher than the rest of them.
Yep, that's what I thought. Power characters are supposed to deal extra damage to shields, like by default, I believe. Pop.
Yeah.
So that has 4 HP, but Knuckles deals double damage to it. So I think if I hit it with the third punch, no.
Building navigation, how dare you? How dare you do the thing you're programmed to do?
Pop.
I need frenzy.
Alright, so I don't really think there's much of anything else to share. If no one else has any other comments, questions, or concerns about Knuckles,
oh, hey, look who it is.
Or anything like that, you're more than welcome to ask them. There, what is...
Those are not meant to have collision.
Hey, Knuckles' running animation is broken. He's not doing the right one.
Oh, what, where he puts his fists forward? He hasn't for ages.
Yeah.
What do you mean he hasn't for ages?
He hasn't
Ever
for
since
ages.
I
It's been
fixed-
broken for ages.
Ever since I fixed the skeleton, because remember when you did the
Oh,
animation,
right.
it was with a slightly broken skeleton. It just needs remaking. which is easy to do now because then you can actually mirror stuff.
I see. So I'd have to remake the animation.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes to both. I mean, it was a very simple edit. It was just putting the fist forward.
Wait, am I right in time to talk about the blocking?
Nope, you're right in time for the stream to end.
We were literally going to. You can. I guess you can talk about it if you want, as long as you know. I didn't have anything to add. All I just said is it blocks because I didn't know what else to talk about because you added it like 2 days ago.
So yeah, let me add to that. Knuckles blocks. Yeah.
So you don't have anything else to add.
Well, okay. So it's actually right now it's actually animation tied, similar to how whatchamacallit.
Like the windmill kick or the kick does.
Yeah, like how you can attach hitboxes to animations, you can also now attach blocking volumes to animations too. So when Knuckles blocks, it's actually triggered by him crouching. And for instance, if you were to come to a stop while crouching, like run and then crouch, he will do like that little stop animation where he turns around. You see that it goes away for a split second. That's because that animation doesn't have the blocking volume tied to it. So that's like, it may not stay like that, but we do have that capability now, which is, I imagine, will be very useful.
Yeah.
And it could block projectiles. So if you go up to that gun enemy that shoots a million projectiles.
Yeah, I've noticed. No. Just climb up here.
I'm sure there's some way we could balance it properly, so...
Could do a thing like Knuckles can only take so many hits. It'd be like if you take so many hits within a short amount of time, it like breaks.
Yeah. How it works right now, and I may change, is that if you're blocking, you have a number of iframes where while you're after blocking, you just can't take damage.
Let's see here.
Yeah, this is a thing where if I let go of the crouch button at some point in time during the block animation, I just get stuck in a block.
Yeah, I think that's actually tied to Knuckles' master blueprint thing. So we'll probably get around to fixing it at some point, but yeah.
It's probably something to do with the crouch code not working as intended.
Yep.
I'm making like a, in my personal level. My personal debug level. I'm just making a giant area filled with all of the different Wisp objects. So I can just test everything in one giant room.
So like a Wisp playground?
Ooh, I went right
You
through
could say it like that, yeah.
Oh, if you spin up too much, you'll go through it. Because there is a delay before you can bounce again.
Get to ping pong around on them. Alright, well, if you don't have anything else to mention, I've already shown off what I wanted to with the Wisps.
I mean, we could talk about what we want to do in the future. Like, what we want to do with the other Wisps, Magenta Rhythm. We can also talk about combat with the homing wrecker.
I actually already did talk about that. I already talked about the homing wrecker. We just had a discussion about that. I already talked about how I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to do with Rhythm yet. And how Ivory Lightning's giving me a little bit of problems, but it shouldn't really take too long to fix up and finish.
Okay. Sorry, everybody, for being late. I had other things to attend to.
No, you didn't. You just don't like us.
Oh, yeah. All I did was just fap around all day.
You went to the gym.
Please
got
reword
swole.
that.
Sorry, faff around, as they say.
Faff.
That's better.
I'm pretty sure that is actually a saying.
I don't know.
It is. It's a British one. Faffing around.
Okay. I knew I got it from a tea drinking sort of place.
Anyway.
You cheeky bugger.
Out of curiosity, Emmanuel, is there a reason why the homing record doesn't put you into a drop dash if you cancel it early?
Oh, actually, you're the one who told me the reason why. It's because of you. You guys slightly broke the drop dash code. It seems.
Oh,
Like it how it's our fault.
I thought you did something to change it, but honestly,
No.
I don't remember.
Yeah, like I was wondering that too, and then like you said, oh, that's because of that. I was like, okay, it makes sense.
That makes sense, I guess.
Because what happens is that when you initiate a drop dash using the code, it literally just calls the function.
Yeah. If I had to guess, the function isn't properly reset to...
Yeah. There's some other master rework stuff I have to attend to, like the Knuckles that has to be done, and also the wall signing code has to be moved over to the speed parent. That should be hard. It just will probably be a bit tedious. It may break a few things.
Both the wall sliding and the homing attack code needs to be moved to the speed parent. I was thinking about that the other day. That, like, the homing
attack code is moved over.
No, it's not. Not to the speed parent.
Sorry, that sounded. I was like, I remember. I thought we did that.
If it's
like,
moved over, it's not being used in the master parent. The speed parent, it's not being used in the speed parent. Even if it exists in there, it's not being used because it's still plugged into the master and being used there.
Okay, I didn't. I thought I remember working with the speed parent one, but I could be mistaken. That's weird.
Unless okay, you're talking about the actual, like, you know, movement part of the home attack code. I'm talking about the enemy tracking, the homing target tracking code.
Oh, yeah, that's completely different. Yeah,
that's being done in the master. The whole how it tracks, like, enemies based on your camera and your position. And
okay, yeah, we can. Well, honestly, part of it. No, you're right.
All that stuff needs to be moved to the parent or the speed parent.
Yeah, we could, because we already have like the base part of it that does the homing attack code, which can be used for other things, but that's in a blueprint library. So that's where it needs to be.
Yeah. Or
we still need a
function
library. At some point, we do need to get around to what shall I call it? Doing the pre-calculated data stuff for like the rails and eventually like multi-part bosses. I don't know, but
yeah.
Did you guys come up with anything new about while discussing things, or just same old?
The only thing that we really discussed is with the homing wrecker, whether or not we get rid of that additional like burst of speed you get at the end of it.
Yeah, because I was suggesting we make it so it actually just launches the enemy, kind of like your. How to explain it? You guys have gone bowling, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was more so talking to the viewers, but it's kind of like those little spinners that like spits the bowling ball back up. Sonic just turns into that.
Oh yeah, he like launches the enemy. That's something I didn't mention, was launching the enemy, but I'm also like tired, so I didn't think of it.
You're good.
So the other idea that Emmanuel had, I believe it was your idea, Emmanuel, where if you kill an enemy with the homing wrecker, rather than launching forward and off of them, you just you launch the enemy forward into other enemies. Like you basically shoot them. I somehow got turned around. One thing I did mention is if we did end up keeping the functionality where you launch off the enemy afterward, if we did keep that, it's going to be nerfed, like, big time. It's way too powerful. Because
that would be simple. Like, I do think being able to launch them would, because we did have an idea for like a homing kick, and like just making a homing record do that, I think would give it extra depth and just sort of nip that functionality in the bud.
That could be the case too. Of course, that would also mean that the homing wrecker would lose some of its mobility capabilities. You would essentially be left with the drop dash. Unless we reversed it, where canceling the move for early will kick the enemy, and killing an enemy with it will still launch you. We could swap it. I don't know. We'll more than likely have to test and play around with it. But
yeah, I personally like killing them, launching them, and then letting go early, because you can kind of control that more, gives you mobility.
Yeah.
Because the point of the extra drop dash is just to give you an extra hit in the first place.
As well as, you know, mobility. So that could be the case. We could make it to where we get rid of the additional launch off, and maybe we just increase the power of the drop dash a little bit. Maybe. Maybe not. But because the drop dash still technically gives you that same functionality as if you you did kill the enemy, you still launch forward in a rolling state.
Yeah, as long as you have ground beneath you.
Yeah, you do have some form of ground movement and additional movement, so we could try that. We can play around with it. We will have to see.
we still do the slide ability too, or the slide ability.
Yep. Oh, did we ever mention the fact that we were considering giving the windmill kick projectile deflection properties?
I don't think we mentioned that, but that's actually something I do need to address using the shields, because that was part of the point. Because I was going to tie a blocking box to it, and just give that blocking box just reflective projectile properties.
Yeah.
Because I think that will help it be like a sort of like a rush down move.
Yeah. So I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but we were considering the idea of giving the windmill kick the ability to deflect projectiles. So
Yeah.
if you do it and someone is shooting at you while you do it, you just deflect it back to them.
Just a
the
giant. No, you.
Yeah. Currently it doesn't do that. You just get cucked, obviously, but... Welcome back, Ezreal. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I'm also too
You
tired.
said that, and I thought you said Asriel. I was about to get Undertale flashbacks.
Make it hard to do, though. Well, if it deflects projectiles, it's going to be already like a niche functionality, because at that point in time, it's just extra defense. The windmill kick is an ability that you're meant to open up with, like you initiate fights with the windmill kick. That's kind of the point of it.
Yep.
So, you already have to do like a 3-input combination to do the windmill kick. You have to do a double tap to do a kick, and then you have to jump. So that's already 3 inputs you have to do in order to execute a windmill kick.
That reminds me. Do you think we should look into changing properties of the slide? Because it feels like the slide is now kind of useless.
And maybe this slide will just knock an enemy to the air, like upwards.
Yeah, if we could do that. We could also probably look into buffing the slide so it slows you down less initially.
Mm.
Making it so that it's actually a good alternative if you just want to slide through a crevice to just slide.
Rather than roll. So yeah, we can probably alter those physics as well.
You can even maybe give us just like a few iframes when you first start it.
My crouch button my control button is hecking me at the moment. It's slowly going out, so if I stop crouching all of a sudden, it's not the game, it's my keyboard.
Yeah, like it kind of feels like if I just buff the slide even more so it just slows down less, that would help a lot.
Yeah, I do think knocking the enemy into the air ever so slightly to like, it's like it could be like another like minor prone ability. Like if you slide into an enemy, you'll just knock them prone for a few seconds.
Oh, I like that actually, and I will probably also keep it distinct from this kick ability, but make it so it doesn't pierce shields.
Yeah, it's like it shouldn't pierce shields, and maybe the amount of time an enemy gets knocked prone is shorter, so that way it's not something you can just spam.
Yeah.
So you knock an enemy into the air slightly. You don't slow down as frequently, and enemies will get like knocked prone for like maybe a second or a half a second. You know.
I feel like that could work. And since, like, what I like about that is that it makes it kind of, how do I explain? It makes it kind of congruent with the other sort of B button abilities. When I say that, I mean like the kick and the windmill kick, sort of, where by pressing this button, you not only can do this move, but just by double tapping it, you can also do a similar move that's slightly different properties, and then you can jump, and that gives you even more different. Like they're all relatively the same. Also,
ooh, these guys are flung.
Oh yeah, I did change the hitboxes for the kick. Because before, like, there were some hitboxes that would just stun them, and I was like, that's dumb. So I changed it around.
Was that a thing we ever showed off? Is the fact you can home attack a rail?
We did.
Okay, I just couldn't remember.
We still have to change it around, because I have to figure out a way to make it so that it will homing attack where you're looking, not where Sonic's just closest to.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm not sure how to do that, though, now that I think about it. Because you will need to try to figure out the closest. Like you have to draw a line from where you're looking or a cone.
We're
And then you
already
have to
doing
figure
that.
Well, you get the point. Like you have to then like find the point on the line that's closest to the rail.
Yeah.
Like that's the hard part because you have to. Yeah. I'm sure there's a way to do that. And hopefully, we can find a way that does that that's also well optimized enough to not be noticeable. Because you will have to do it all the time. Is the thing. So hopefully, there's a way that does it that involves us just getting data that we already have.
Maybe there is. Well, maybe we can look into it at some point. But
We'll roll with that later.
yeah.
That sounds like a halfway through November sort of idea.
What like I was mentioning, once I get Ivory Lightning done, I'm probably gonna take a break from the Wisps and work on other things because I don't even fucking know what I'm gonna do with Magenta Rhythm yet, and there's other things to be done. The flight parent needs to be fixed up. We gotta get all Knuckles' gliding code into the power parent. There's Silver needs to be reparented to the master. To the flight parent. There's still things with the master character and the speed parent that need to be cleaned up and fixed. There's still quite a bit to do with this parent restructuring. I found that there was still code that hasn't been told to use the new structures, because remember we made all those new structures to replace all the other data.
That's always fun to find.
None of the home attack code was ever reset, like the home attack tracking code. None of that was told to use the new structures. And I'm probably have to go through some of that stuff with you so I can make sure I get all of it. I'm probably just gonna have to take a day, and you and I are probably just gonna take a day and like work on stuff together.
Does grinding work now? Yes and no. Grinding's been working for the most part. Just that we're going to have to do a small yet large change to the grind rails, I think, which is to make it so that they don't require you to press input directly where you want to go. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, right now how the grinding rails work is that they work off of SA2 logic, where you have to press the direction that matches the direction of the rail to get the most optimal results.
I'm not holding a direction currently. Like this is me not holding a direction. They automatically propel you forward. I do think that if I remember right, holding forward will increase your speed.
Yeah, I was saying like change it so that.
Oh wait, no. I'm pressing forward this whole time and my speed's not changing.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
That might be the case with boosting. No, boosting does the same thing. So. Currently, as far as I'm aware, the only thing that doesn't really work with the rails is going down a rail. It doesn't like whenever you go down a rail. It slows you down.
Yeah, we're going to have to look into that.
That's the only thing about rails that I'm sure of. It doesn't want to work. But rails do technically work.
They do technically work, but we're going to have to look into them. We should probably just, when you're done with the Wisp, that could be one of the things we go over.
Yeah.
That and like the homing attack thing.
Yeah.
Because grind rails is something like you, me, and Reese have all kind of worked on, so we all have like some knowledge of how they work.
I have hardly worked on those.
Shh, quiet. Shut up. you do know. Also, we still technically have to look at rolling. We just kind of put that off because I don't want to do it. But yeah. I did have an idea. This is off topic, but I did have an idea of like just changing spin dash. I mean, not the spin dash, but a spin slide to make it just a home drop dash alternative or just drop dash replacement.
I don't think you would need to replace the drop dash.
It doesn't need to, but I just realized it fits a lot. It fits some of the niches of it. It just feels like a better drop dash in many ways, minus the energy consumption.
Yeah. The whole difference between that and the drop dash doesn't consume energy.
Yeah, this is the main difference in that you can activate this on the ground. So I was wondering, what if I just change this move slightly so you can't launch it in the air at all, and it doesn't use it doesn't use boost, but it just has like a much longer cooldown maybe. And I was like, but you can still charge it while you're in the air. You just can't let go until you hit the ground. That's just something that popped into my head. I was like, I wonder if like it does kind of make the drop dash redundant if you think about it, but I'm not really concerned about it. Like a rolling code isn't terrible. It just needs a couple of tweaks.
You know, there's a couple of things that need to be fixed in it. So I don't think there's really much of anything else to go over unless you have something you want to talk about. Anyone, again, is more than welcome to ask anything or talk about anything if you want.
Please,
Yeah.
ask us anything. We're only.
That does eventually need to be addressed with the enemies. I'm not sure what's causing that though.
I just don't think they respect gravity. Or their collision doesn't update, if I had to guess. Like, you have to do something to tell the collision to update.
Yeah.
Bop. Bop.
Because the character snapping also technically has that problem. But I think I know a way we could solve that.
Alright, so I've got to use the restroom. So I will be back. And then we'll probably close things up. But if you guys have anything to talk about or ask or whatever, you're more than welcome to do so while I'm gone. Reese and
Please, we're
Emmanuel
out of
will be able
ideas.
to answer your questions more than likely. So I will be back in like less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
Alright. Have fun. Please give us ideas. We're completely just creatively bankrupt. We're just thinking about remaking this engine next time.
What? No.
Like, we're just Sonic Infinity Plus remastered. That's just our next idea.
No. Just no.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just stop. Okay.
Reese, have you had any ideas?
No, I have not.
Damn, bro.
What makes you think I would ever have ideas?
Because of that big old noggin you have?
Wow.
I feel like you took that as an insult, and I am perplexed.
I did that to make you confused.
I'm looking at Discord, and
got
Jimbo
some
said-
errors.
Jimbo said, you guys should really improve the wall jump ability. I don't know why, but like, yeah, look at the Discord, like, if any in general. He said that, but it's funny because he said that, and like, I'm looking at his face. It just like, I just can't take it seriously. Like, well, you just got to really improve the wall jump ability. I don't know why. It just feels like that's a meme. I think he should really improve his animation abilities. Oh,
Well,
I'm kidding.
you're just like a hawk. As soon as anybody does anything animation related, you're like doing animations, eh?
Animation?
Swoop right in.
What am I supposed to do? We need animators. Like, we know
Yeah.
we need animators for like 25 years.
Oh yeah, for 25 years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been 25 years. That's how long we've been working on Infinity Plus. 25 years. I'm not even 25 years old.
So,
Never mind.
yes, as soon as someone says they can animate or shows any hint that they know how to make a extrude a block in Blender, I'm going to go, hey, you can animate, right? Yeah, you can animate. You want to help us out?
Hey, shit, I just want to see me animate.
That's what we need to recruit shit ass to animate for us.
Alright. Well, I don't believe, unless, again, last call, because I'm going to shut things down. Any other questions, concerns?
Comments.
I'm getting ready to shut things down if not.
He's gonna do it.
Speak now
Gonna
or forever
do
hold
it.
your peace. I'm tired.
Ransom deals. Will and testaments. OnlyFans accounts. Just really anything you have to get off your chest.
OnlyFans account. Emmanuel's opening up an OnlyFans. For
There are-
Spaghetti Code.
Apparently, there are OnlyFans for where people just draw. And I'm like, that's called a Patreon, I think.
Well, Patreon also has like a lot of. I don't want to get into this right now. I really don't want to talk about this right now, especially on stream.
Yeah, that's fair.
God, Emmanuel, why do you always bring this sort of stuff up on streams?
I really don't.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
Okay.
You do talk. You bring up the weirdest shit on streams.
You know what? Fine. Whoever wants to, who's listening right now, if you actually give a shit, I want you to clip every single moment or enough moments to make a compelling, like,
Compilation.
yeah, make a compilation of just weird shit I've said on stream.
I don't know,
Like,
with all of the, because remember I do archive the streams on YouTube.
Oh shit.
So
Well, also people on YouTube, if you want to do a compilation of weird shit Manual says, kind of like Sonic says, you can go ahead and do that. I won't be mad.
I've said weird shit too. So everyone said weird shit on the stream.
Everyone says weird shit, but one at a time.
One at a time.
Also, I did update the drift, so it should be a bit more responsive now.
I have noticed it is.
Cause I realized he really couldn't turn with it. I'm like, what the fuck?
This is all like, who did this to my code? Who did this to my spaghetti?
Alright, well,
Life.
looks like I'm gonna shut things down. No one has said anything, so thank you all for joining in. For those who did join in, this is the last dev stream of October. We will be back on November 9th. Obviously,
Oh yeah.
this stream is going to be archived on November 2nd.
The last stream needs archiving. I have just downloaded it today, so it should be.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Sometime
archived
soon.
last Monday, and it wasn't. So as soon as Reese gets it to me, I'm gonna upload it ASAP.
Sorry.
I've not even watched it. Like, I've not watched this stream. So
I still feel like we could use an Infinity Plus like official YouTube, but
yes, we could.
still, I'm getting ahead of myself. We still need to make a fucking fan game.
Fan game? Why do you keep saying fan game? It's not a game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Are we stepping on your toes too much because you're making a fan game,
Hmm?
or just a regular game?
I'm
Whatever.
shutting things down.
End the
I'm
stream.
tired. I'm shutting down the stream.
Yeah, we're holding it up. Just shut it down. Just shut it all down.
All right. I hope everyone who joined has a good day. Who's good. Seeing everyone. I'm glad to be back. I'm fucking tired. Fuck all of you. I'm leaving now.
If he didn't join in, bad luck to you.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Oh, shit, that includes my family. Shit, fuck.
All right. Well, we'll see everybody next time. That'll be the 9th of November. Until then.
Oh yeah.
Later.
See you later.